This week in censorship was another doozy, but also quite the wake-up call for those who have been ignoring us little social media personalities who have been warning about such a thing for many years now. After the New York Post published a shocking story revealing what appear to be Hunter Biden's emails, admitting that he introduced his then vice president father to his Burisma buddies, despite Joe Biden playing dumb, saying that he had no idea about anything that Hunter was involved in, then the big tech giants decided to dump that story down the memory hole. As soon as it started going viral, Twitter blocked the link and wouldn't let anybody else post it. This is the error message that I got. We're sorry we weren't able to send your tweet. Would you like to retry or save this tweet in drafts? But I certainly wasn't the only one. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany was suspended from Twitter for previously sharing the link before Twitter was able to prevent people from posting it. They claimed she violated their rules against distributing hacked material. Even though the emails weren't hacked, they were on an abandoned laptop.
You are not allowed to share that information. And make no mistake, if they can ban the press secretary of the United States for President Trump, they can ban you as a citizen, and that is pathetic.
That's a great point. Our own Adam Housley on his account has confirmed the authenticity of that, as have other media outlets that have been reporting on the story.
Of course, when Richard Maddow obtained stolen copies of President Trump's tax returns and reported on that, she wasn't suspended or locked out of her account.
I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period. I did anything wrong, and I didn't realize he was on the board till after he'd been on the board, and at the same time, he has come forward and said it was a mistake on his part to be on the board. I don't know what he was doing. I know he was on the board. I found out he was on the board after he was on the board, and that was it.
The fact is, I was unaware of his investments until it occurred, and I've never discussed what my son's business with him because I didn't want any conflict.
I don't discuss business with my son. I didn't know that was the case. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters, and I've never discussed them.
Of course you didn't, Joe. Just like you didn't pressure the Ukrainian government to fire that prosecutor, according to Twitter's Fact Check and the Washington Post, which says then President Biden played no role in pressuring Ukraine officials into firing the prosecutor. Of course, that's not what you told your globalist friends at the Council on Foreign Relations.
So they said they were walking out to press conference. Said, "No," I said, "I'm not going to. We're not going to give you the $1 billion." They said, "You have no authority. You're not the president." The president said, "I said, call him." I said, "I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion." I said, "You're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here." And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, "I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money." Oh, son of a got fired.
It must be just one big coincidence. In other censorship news, the big tech companies are taking down posts that include information taken directly from the CDC about coronavirus survival rates. Like this post from my local independent KUSI news station, which shows the survival rate for those under 70 years old is 99.5%. But that's not scary enough when you actually look at the numbers, so Instagram got upset about it.
Well, throughout the whole pandemic, social media websites have been cracking down on what they are calling false information. And in fact, this week, KUSI was flagged on Instagram after fact checkers claimed that the information we posted was false, even though that information came directly from the CDC.
That's right. You're not allowed to post facts on social media unless they can be twisted and turned against President Trump.
If Biden's elected, you really think that the big tech companies are going to stop doing the bidding of their masters in Washington? Not a chance. You think big tech is going to suddenly think, oh, you're allowed to think for yourself? No.
But that's not the only thing the left are upset about. After Don Lemonhead learned that NBC was hosting a town hall event with President Trump, he had to give them a piece of his mind.
It is embarrassing. I've spoken to several friends, especially over at MSNBC. They are incredulous about this. They cannot believe it is happening, especially the people of color over there. My LGBTQ friends who are over there, the way that this president treats them, it is just, there's like, oh, fine, if you want to give Donald Trump airtime on your network, have him go on MSNBC. Have him go on with Rachel. Have him go on with Joy. Have him go on with someone where he can be challenged, rather than going on a town hall where he's going to take questions and he's going to try to avoid them. So I don't understand it. I am outraged by this. And for all of my brothers and sisters who are over at that network and are afraid to speak out because they think that, they're going to lose their job or lose their standing, or there's going to be repercussions for it, I will speak out for you. It is outrageous, and I cannot believe NBC is doing it, and I am sorry for you. And guess what? I think you should speak out. I think there is no other moment where you have this much leverage and you're going to be able to tell your bosses what you think is right. It is absolutely ridiculous, NBC. It's a pure D, as we say down south, ratings ploy, and you should be embarrassed.
Can I go now?
Hey, you're a grown man. You're a grown man.
Yes, how dare a major television network allow the President of the United States to answer questions from the American people? Of course, we all know that those questions are going to be carefully scripted and pre-planned, but Don Lemonhead is just upset that they're giving him any airtime at all. Maybe he should go on Rachel Maddow's show, however, because it would certainly be a lot more entertaining than what they regularly air.
I just realized that I would kick myself if I didn't just ask you, before I let you go, if you noticed the fly on Vice President Pence's head at the time during the debate, or if that was something that only we could see it at home. Could you see it sitting next to him? Did you have feelings about, did you have the instinct to?
Rachel, I think that it's important that we kind of find a way, all of us, to move on and, kind of fly away from this subject onto something else. Yeah.
Senator Harris, you are very kind. And let's just spare a thought right now for the people who have to write closed captions.
No, let's spare the people who actually thought that this segment was funny. What the heck is going on over at MSNBC? Something that is entertaining, however, and enlightening is my new book, Hollywood Propaganda: How TV, Movies, and Music Shape Our Culture. Available in paperback from Amazon.com, or download the ebook from any of the major ebook stores. It's everything that I want to say on YouTube, but can't for obvious reasons, and I guarantee you're going to love it. So head on over to Amazon.com or click the link in the description below and check it out.